Alright guys, welcome back to the Back 40 Lodge. What we're gonna make here is some pork chops. You're gonna make the best pork chop you ever made. So normally I like to use inch thick pork chops, but for the video I'm just gonna do ½ inch because it'll cook quicker. Don't need to do a long ass video. So we're gonna have 3 ingredients. We're gonna use Frank's hot sauce, garlic sriracha, only made by Weber as far as I can find, and then just your regular soy sauce. So I'd like to start by saying you should always put your meat out for about say ½ hour, maybe an hour, hour and a half even, and let it get to room temperature before you go cooking it. It just helps it to cook more even that way. So put your hot sauce in there, or your soy sauce in there. Throw your pork chops in there. You're gonna grab your fork and you're gonna spin this around and around. I usually do this in a cast iron pan. I'm doing it in this pan today just because most of you guys don't have cast iron pans or use cast iron all the time. I use cast iron. This is my pan over here. I use that bad boy for everything I cook basically. So while that's cooking a little bit, put a little bit of salt on there. Even though the soy sauce has plenty of salt, it's not going to be over salted. Believe me, you will not be overwhelmed in the salt taste. We'll roll these around a little bit. So if you can see when you're rolling it around, if you have your cast iron pan, it's going to burn the sides, you know, when you're rubbing the fat, this fat chunk right here, when you're rubbing this, rolling it along on the sides, it's going to help that to cook a little better too. Not so much in a regular pan because it doesn't have straight up kind of sides. So you'll notice now that the soy sauce is getting a little bit thinner, almost gone, and it's kind of bubbling a little bit. So what you're going to do then, you're going to add a little more soy sauce. And you're going to flip these puppies. Look at that color right there. Woo. It's ready to go without even doing nothing. I love that color. Keep rolling them around. Turn this fan on. Another key to cooking really good pork chops is everyone thinks that it has to be, you can't have it rare or whatever because it needs to be cooked fully. And I guess there's some truth to that, but I think if you cook anything like to the fullest and overcook it, it's going to taste like shoe leather, you know. So I'll show you a secret on these, how to do it so that by the time you're ready to eat it, it's going to be cooked fully through, but it's not going to be shoe leather. You see the soy sauce starting to bubble up there. When it gets really hot, it starts to splatter a little bit, kind of like bacon grease. But that's how you want it, because that's how it's going to stick to the bottom of your pan there. I didn't salt this side yet, so put a little bit of salt on there. Nice. Turn the heat down a little bit. That soy sauce starts to splatter a little bit, so that's good, because when you flip it over, that stuff is getting embedded in your pork chop. Look at that color better. Nice. Gonna make it fit the pan there. So I know a lot of people say don't cut into your meat or whatever, you know, you're going to ruin the meat if you cut into it. I think you got to cut into it because you need to know how far along cooked it is so you know how long you have to rest it until it's actually done. So I would take a little slice like this. Okay, you see that middle? It's still a little bit pink there. It's pink in the middle, but it's cooked almost all the way through. So now is when I'll add my other ingredients and just give it a little bit more time. So now I'm going to add my garlic sriracha Weber. You can't have too much garlic sriracha. This shit is amazing. Alright, give it a little flip. Alright. Put garlic sriracha on this side. And do a little bit of Frank's hot sauce. You don't have to do a ton. A little bit goes a long way with the hot sauce. There you go. A little bit like that. Flip it over. A little bit of hot sauce. Not too much. Roll it around a little bit. Flip that guy back. Look at that presentation, man. I'm gonna eat the crap out of this stuff. I truly believe that spinning it around like this does a lot to add the flavor and get that fat side burnt a little bit. I'll take another little cut in there. There's still some pink in there, but mostly white. Turn that heat off. Let me get a plate. Put these guys in there, let them rest for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then they'll be ready to cut open. Alright, so it's been about three minutes or so since I let them sit there and rest. Now, man, these things look delicious, but you cut into it now, since it's been sitting, it was a little bit raw. Look at that. Very nice and juicy. Excellent. You cannot beat it. You definitely do not overcook them. But man, yeah, piece. This will be like the best pork chop ever. Look at that. Just squeezing with juice dripping down me. Awesome. All right. So now I have to clean up my mess, which means I have to eat this. So thanks for watching, man. See you on the next vid. Later. Very good.